We all know that kindness is a virtue, something we should all strive for. But have you ever stopped to think if there's a dark side to being too kind? It sounds counterintuitive, right? But like anything in life, even kindness can become a problem when it's not balanced with wisdom and self-respect. Let's explore why being too nice isn't always a good thing. First up, being overly kind can make you a target for exploitation. There are people out there who are constantly on the lookout for generous, trusting individuals. They see your kindness not as a strength, but as an opportunity. These manipulators and con artists can sniff out a people pleaser from a mile away. If you're always giving without ever receiving, you'll eventually feel used, resentful, and completely drained. Your kindness becomes a resource for others to deplete. This leads directly to the second point: neglecting your own self-care. When you're obsessed with being kind to everyone else, who's being kind to you? People pleasers often have a hard time saying no. They overcome it, stretch themselves thin, and end up completely burned out. They put everyone else's needs, their happiness, their problems, their comfort ahead of their own. This can take a serious toll on your physical, mental, and emotional health. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Third, your kindness might actually be enabling bad behavior. Think about it. When you constantly bail someone out of trouble, whether it's with money, excuses, or emotional support, you're shielding them from the natural consequences of their actions. This might feel kind in the moment, but in the long run, you're preventing them from learning and growing. You're accidentally encouraging their dependency or irresponsibility in toxic relationships. This kind of enabling can trap both you and the other person in a harmful cycle. Next, being too kind often means suppressing your true feelings just to keep the peace. You might be feeling frustrated, angry, or disappointed, but you bottle it all up to avoid conflict. You smile when you want to scream. Over time, this suppressed emotion doesn't just disappear. It builds up inside, leading to chronic stress, anxiety, or even passive-aggressive behavior. Eventually, it can lead to a sudden emotional outburst that seems to come out of nowhere, damaging the very relationships you were trying so hard to protect. There's also a phenomenon called moral exhaustion or compassion fatigue. Constantly feeling responsible for everyone else's well-being is mentally and emotionally exhausting. This is especially true for people in caring professions like nurses, social workers, or therapists. But it can happen to anyone who is the designated helper in their circle. You become so overwhelmed by empathy that you start to feel numb. Your capacity for compassion simply runs out. Surprisingly, your kind acts can sometimes be misunderstood or even met with backlash. Some people might see your kindness as a weakness or naivety. In a competitive workplace, for instance, being the nice guy might get you overlooked for a promotion because you're not seen as assertive or tough enough. Others might be suspicious of your motives, thinking your kindness is just a clever way to manipulate them or make them feel indebted to you. Finally, extreme kindness can sometimes be a form of self-deception. It's important to be honest with yourself about why you're being so kind. Is it genuinely selfless, or is it driven by a need for approval, recognition, or a way to avoid feeling guilty? When kindness becomes a performance for your ego or a tool for control, it loses its authenticity. People can often sense this, and it can create a weird tension in your relationships. So, what's the takeaway here? Is kindness bad? Absolutely not. Kindness is a powerful, beautiful force for good in the world. The key is to practice it with wisdom. True, sustainable kindness requires healthy boundaries, knowing when and how to say no. It requires self-awareness, understanding your own motives, and it requires discernment, learning to tell the difference between people who genuinely need and appreciate your help and those who just want to exploit it. Ultimately, the most effective form of kindness is one that balances your generosity with self-respect and wisdom. It's about being kind to others while also being kind to yourself. Thanks so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that helps you navigate life. See you in the next one.